Jackson. Welcome to LCJ Live. It's Sunday, July 6, 2025. Hope you had a great 4th of July, Independence Day here in New York. It was beautiful, not too hot. It was wonderful. And speaking of some red, white, and blue and a little gold, we've got Superman coming out this week. We'll get into Superman in a little bit. As always, send in your questions and your comments. Of course, we have to talk about the big movie, the blockbuster, the film in the theaters right now that's making the most money, and that is Jurassic World Rebirth. $147.3 million for the 5-day weekend. That is even with the 3-day opens of the last two Jurassic movies. You had Fallen Kingdom with a $148 million opening weekend in 2018. You had Dominion with a $145.1 million opening weekend in 2022. Now, both of those were 3-day opens. This is a 5-day open. The 3-day, Friday through Sunday for Jurassic World Rebirth, is 91.5. So you can say, well, that's a decrease, but really, when you think about it, everyone who wanted to see this Jurassic movie right away, just like the last two times, went to see this one right away. So we are technically even. And from here on out now, we'll see how it does if it can match the other ones. Now, remember, the first Jurassic World from 2015 opened over 200 million, totaled 652. The other two didn't come close to that. The second one did 417, the third one 376. But when you look at these three movies and how even they are, 148, 145, 147 in that 5-day, but still, technically, who wanted to see it right away? Everybody who saw the last two. I'm sure Universal will greenlight another Jurassic movie. Over 300 million worldwide this weekend. This is a very big success. You have to call it a success. In fact, the money kept increasing every day, pretty much over the last few days, of how high the 3-day was going to be and how high the 5-day was going to be. It kept going up, 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 up. First it started at 80, then 85. Now we're at 91.5 for the 3-day. And the 5-day started at 130, then it went to 135, then it went to 140. We're at 147.3. And you know what? If more people go see it tonight, we could be looking at $150 million. Which is a win for movie theaters. That dipped a little bit with films like Karate Kid and Ballerina and Elio not doing so well. But there have been highs this summer for sure. Of course, Lilo and Stitch and How to Train Your Dragon have made money. And now Jurassic World Rebirth. I believe it's the biggest worldwide open of any movie this year. That's good. It's a good start to the second half of the year. It's a good 4th of July position. Universal likes 4th of July. They had Despicable Me 4 last year at this time. And they're happy with this. They will take this. If you're even, you're in good shape. It's better to be even than to be down. And technically we are even, so there you go. I didn't care for Jurassic World Rebirth. I saw it 13 days ago now as the early Regal Monday mystery movie. That's how a lot of people saw it. And that money certainly went into this 147.3. So it's the 5-day plus what it made, including what it made for the Regal Monday mystery movie. Now, because Jurassic World did so well, F1 took a bit of a drop this weekend, down 54%. It made 26.1 million. It's at 109.5. That's a bit bigger than I think Warner Brothers wanted. Overseas, it had a great hold. Here, not as much. And it didn't do quite as well on 4th of July itself. I think a lot of people had things to do on 4th of July. And so you're going to see, though, I think this movie, which has the soundtrack of the summer. Man, every song on that soundtrack is popping. It's alive. That whole movie is alive. You're going to see this movie, I think, have hopefully good holds the rest of the way through, all the way through Labor Day. You're going to see people catch up on this, maybe see it a couple times, IMAX, all of that. Older moviegoers, that Top Gun Maverick-esque crowd. We're still not even at the opening weekend of Top Gun Maverick, which was 124, a little more. But still, Warner Brothers is happy, 109.5. Would love to see this past 200 million. So it's going to depend on how the next several weeks go. But that 54 is a little higher than what they want it to be, even with 4th of July itself on Friday. Number 3 this weekend is How to Train Your Dragon, 11 million. It's at 224. It passed the animated film, not adjusted for inflation, but check this out. 9th biggest non-Jurassic, non-Fast and Furious, and non-Illumination movie for Universal of at least the past 30 years, and it's going to continue to climb up that chart. So We've already got How to Train Your Dragon 2 live action coming out in 2027. So Universal's happy with Jurassic, and they're happy with this Dragon franchise. Number 4 this weekend is Elio. Elio made $5.7 million. It's at 55.1, so not quite as big of a drop as last weekend, which is good. Onward made about $62 million in its shortened box office run. I think it will pass that $62 million, I think, but it's really now only got one more weekend and 2-ish full weeks before Smurfs comes along. And then a couple more weeks after that, you've got Bad Guys 2. But Elio really needs to have a good, $4 million plus weekend this coming weekend to at least get it over that $62 million. We're not coming close to what Elemental did. I mean, we started out lower than Elemental. It was about 2/3 of that, and so maybe you thought, okay, could even make a run at $100 million. Elemental did 154. We're at 55.1 right now. We're not getting to 70, and I think Pixar has to be a little disappointed for sure. Number 5 is 28 Years Later. Hey, Drew Taylor, thanks for being here. Hope you had a good 4th of July. Number 5 this weekend is 28 Years Later, 4.6 million. It's at 60.2. It is the number 1 Sony Columbia movie of the year, passing Karate Kid Legends. Number 5 is that. Number 6 is Lilo and Stitch. Also, Megan 2.0, they basically tied for 6th this weekend. Lilo and Stitch with 3.8 million, it's at 408.5. So Minecraft did 424, so it's still the second biggest domestically, but globally, it's passing Minecraft at the box office. And then Megan 2.0, wow. Just 3.8 million in its second weekend. You might see some stats that say it added a handful of theaters, which it did. A lot of drive-ins had it as the second film after Jurassic, and it still had a huge drop of just 3.8 million. It's at 18.6. Remember the first one did 30 in an opening weekend and totaled more than 95. Wow. It's just not a good film. It's not. And I was talking to more people the other day who just had no interest in seeing Megan 2.0. Number 8, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, 2.7 million, 191.2. Now, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning could pass that 195 of Rogue Nation. Excuse me for a moment. As you might be able to tell, I have just a little bit of a summer cold that I got starting yesterday. But I'm doing all right. I'm doing good. Just a little bit in the air. So that 191.2 is very close to the 195 of 2015's Rogue Nation, not adjusted for inflation. But this is a win for Paramount. If they can do that, at one point I didn't think it had a chance of doing that. So that's a win. They will take that for sure. Number 9 is Materialists. It added 1.4 million. It's at 33.5, the 8th biggest A24 film of all time. Needs a couple million more to pass Iron Claw on that list. I think it'll do it. And number 10 is This Is Spinal Tap, the reissue of that film, 1.1 million. Bleecker Street this weekend. The sequel comes out in September. Pete Crooks says everyone should go see it. Shows are selling out funnier and fresh than a lot in the multiplex right now. This is Spinal Tap. Got into the top 10. I had a feeling it would. I didn't see it on any of the tracking, but I had a feeling it might show up in the top 10. Don't have the money on a film called 40 Acres, but Mike Sargent recommends it. We have a new Too Fast, Too Films podcast episode coming soon to TooFastTwoFilms.com, where we talk about Jurassic World Rebirth as well as The Old Guard 2. Whoa, is that bad? That's on Netflix. So that new episode is coming at you soon to TooFastTwoFilms.com. We have a fun episode up there now, talking about F1 and Ice Road Vengeance and our favorite racing films. His is Grand Prix, which I watched the beginning of last night. I couldn't do the whole 3.5 hours, basically. It's 3 hours, but commercials on the Movies channel over the air. But I watched the open of Grand Prix, and wow, you could tell just how much it influenced the F1 movie. This weekend, of course, Superman is coming. Also, Jaws at 50, the definitive inside story, which I like a lot. It's Thursday on Nat Geo, Friday on Hulu and Disney+. It's a great documentary on the 50th anniversary of Jaws, the impact, the Nat Geo perspective, the Spielberg perspective, Emily Blunt's favorite movie, all these people. Congratulations, by the way, to Emily Blunt on getting her star on the Walk of Fame next year in Hollywood. That'll be great. So check out Jaws at 50. It starts Thursday night on Nat Geo. Tyler Perry's Medea's Destination Wedding starts Friday on Netflix. We'll see how that is. Also, a film called Sovereign is out this weekend with Nick Offerman, Jacob Tremblay, Dennis Quaid. So that'll be opening in some theaters. It might be available at home as well. A film called Skill House also coming out. Rest in peace to Julian McMahon. And Craig Robinson with his announcement that I guess he's stepping away from comedy. Interesting timing of that considering he's in The Bad Guys 2, which opens August 1st. Is this the worst summer in recent movie memory, says Pete Crooks? From what perspective? From a creativity perspective, you know, it's same old for a lot of stuff. Redoing Lilo and Stitch, redoing How to Train Your Dragon, a very generic new Jurassic installment. Karate Kid was not good. Some of the films have been all right, and some of the smaller movies, again, I support the animated films, the smaller movies, the indies, the documentaries. There have been some good documentaries this summer. As far as box office is concerned, this Jurassic helps. And when it comes to Superman, it will all depend on the reviews. If the reviews, some of which start coming out tomorrow night, and then more Tuesday, and during the week, if the reviews are good, then it'll give people the chance to go. If they are mixed even, there will be some people on the fence who say, I'm not gonna bother, I'll just wait for Fantastic Four. And if they're really negative, there are gonna be people who say, I don't want this to tarnish the legacy of Superman. Pete thinks that Superman reviews are gonna be brutal. We'll find out. We'll see what happens. As I said here last week, I liked Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 from James Gunn. Thought it was a solid finale, emotional. But if this is too goofy, I don't know. I mean, I'm looking forward to Rachel Brosnahan, so talented, her playing Lois Lane. I have no interest in the rest of the movie whatsoever. I have a little more of an interest in the overall atmosphere of Fantastic Four, though I hope that's not too goofy either. We've got Smurfs. We've got some smaller movies, Sorry Baby, which is in more theaters. We've got Eddington also for July, and then we're into August. Bad Guys 2, Nobody 2, Naked Gun, Freakier Friday, Weapons is coming out, Americana, Relay, which looks good. I watched Fixed the other night on Netflix. That's wild. I got a screener of that. And that's the new Gendy Tartakovsky raunchy animated comedy. Grand Prix of Europe could bring in some families. The Roses is the end of August, Toxic Avenger. So there's a lot to look forward to in the rest of the summer. But when it comes to Superman, it'll depend on the reviews. That's going to be big. And Warner Brothers is going to hold its breath as we find out what they are. And I'll be seeing it this week. I'll give you my thoughts on Superman, of course, on the social media platforms. That's X at LCJ Reviews, Instagram at LightsCamJackson, lights-camera-jackson.com, animationscoop.com, lcj.podbean.com, toofast2films.com. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. When we're back here next Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern, we are going to take a look at that Superman box office, preview Smurfs, and I Know What You Did Last Summer at Eddington, which are all coming out for the 18th. Look at the rest of July. Are we in for a situation like The Flash, where it opened to, 53, totaled 110, something like that? You know, the buzz on The Flash 2 years ago was so high, and then the open wasn't very good, and then it dropped big. I think Superman will open to more than $52 million. We'll see how big the drops are. A lot of drive-ins are having Jurassic for a few weeks, and then probably Fantastic Four, so a lot of drive-ins of single screen or even double screen. Maybe double screen they'll get it, but single screen drive-ins are going to miss out on Superman. I don't know. If I had to place an estimate, I mean, tracking's all over the place these days when it comes to just about anything, and it'll depend on the reviews. If it's over 100 million, Warner Brothers will love it. If it's under 70, Warner's is not gonna be happy. There's a chance it could just teeter on that 70 mark depending on the reviews. Try to go to the drive-ins often, support your drive-in movie theaters if they're near you. And I think that's it. Yeah, that's it for today. For LCJ Live. I'll see you next Sunday. Support your theaters. Have a good week. Superman thoughts later this week. Seeing some more movies as well. Take care. Thanks for watching LCJ Live, everybody. Bye-bye.